Namaste, 9th standard children. Yesterday in that last video, we just were discussing all stories are of Anansi, and this is a fiction, a fable story where the theme of the story is willpower, planning and wit can make you win anything impossible. And there is a spider whose name is Anansi, Vaku Anansi. He just by using his wit and willpower won the acknowledgement of it, giving the stories away. Now we have completed how the honest are caught by Anansi the spider as per his plans, and he took a calabash and a guard to catch those honest, and they were caught in the guard. He took the honest in the guard, which was blocked by ball of grass. So he took it to the Nyam, the sky god, and now two more tasks are remaining to get the acknowledgement, to get the ownership of the stories. So now he took the guard full of honest to Nyam, the sky god. The sky god accepted them. He said, there are two more things. So para number 11 will continue from para number 11. Anansi returned to the forest and cut the long bamboo pole and some strong vines. Then he walked towards the house of Anani, the python. So now who is Anani? Anani is none other than the python. Talking to himself, he said, my wife is stupid. I say, he is longer and stronger. My wife says, he is shorter and weaker. I give him more respect. She gives him less respect. Is she right or am I right? Am I right or he is longer? Am I right? He is stronger. So, what he was talking was, it is according to his plan. So, he took a long bamboo pole and some strong vines. Vines means rope type vines. So, as per plan, he goes with the long bamboo pole and strong vines, and then he goes towards his house. Whose house? Python's house. He goes towards the house of Anani, the python. Then he started talking to himself. He starts talking, my wife is stupid. So it is he is talking to himself. He is saying that my wife is stupid. And he also says, I give him more respect. She means his wife, she gives him less respect. Is she right or am I right? Is she right or am I right? Am I right? He is longer. I am right. He is stronger. I am right. He is longer. I am right. He is stronger. So this was, he was murmuring with himself. And at that time, when Anani, the python, heard Anansi talking to himself, he just said, why are you arguing with this way with yourself? So he was murmuring like this, who is right? Whether his wife is right or he himself is right. He considers python as stronger and longer, but his wife considers is shorter and weaker. So he gives, Anansi gives more respect to the python and his wife gives less respect to the python. This was the argument he was talking to himself. This was heard by the Anani, and he asked Anansi, why are you arguing with this way with yourself? So why are you arguing with this way with yourself? Then the spider replied. Who is spider here? Anansi. Anansi is the spider. The spider replied, oh, I have had a dispute with my wife. She says you are shorter and weaker, and this bamboo pole, I say you are longer and stronger. So what he replies, he said, I had a dispute with my wife. We had an argument. My wife and myself had argument, and in that argument my wife was telling, you are shorter and weaker than this bamboo pole. But I say you are longer and stronger than this bamboo pole. So Anani said, it's useless and silly to argue when you can find out the truth. Bring the pole and we will measure. So what Anani said, so it is useless arguing. So when we have the option of measuring who is stronger and who is longer, so we can measure it. Why can't we measure now? Then bring that bamboo here. We will measure and see who is longer. Para number 15. So Anansi laid the pole on the ground. So he said okay, and he laid the pole on the ground, and the python came and stretched himself out beside it. You know what happens? He kept the pole on the ground, and the python lay stretched himself by the side of the bamboo. Now, you seem a little short, Anansi said. So he said, you are little short than the bamboo. The python stretched further. So it stretched further. A little more, Anansi said. Okay, little more you stretch it, so that this bamboo and your body, bamboo and you will be the same. When you stretch at one end, you get shorter at the other end, he said. What spider said? When you stretch at one end, you get shorter at the other end. Let me tie you at the front so you don't slip. So what will we do? What will we do? I will tie one vine in the one end to the pole and yourself, to your tail and the bamboo. I'll tie a vine. Then we will measure again. He tied Anansi's head to the pole. Now he tied this one head with the pole with the vine. Then he went to the other end and tied the tail to the pole. So both ends are tied now. He wrapped the vine all around Anani until the python couldn't move. What he did, he very witty acted here. First he tied the head to the pole, then he tied the tail to the pole, then after that he went on tying. He covered the vine and he covered the full python with the pole with the vine. Anansi said, it turns out that my wife was right and I was wrong. Then he says, after tying the full python, he says, it turns out that my wife is right and I was wrong. You are shorter than the pole and weaker. My opinion wasn't as good as my wife. So my wife is right, I am wrong. My opinion is not that good as my wife's. But you were even more foolish than I, and you are now my prisoner. Now he says, you are more foolish than I myself, and you are my prisoner now. Anansi carried the python to Nyam, the sky god, who said, there is one more thing. So, out of 3 tasks, now 2 are over. Ernest are caught in the guard, and the python is made prisoner by tying the vine around the pole and the python. Obeso, the leopard. So now 3rd task is Obeso, the leopard, was next. Anansi went into the forest and dug a deep pit where the leopard was accustomed to walk. He covered it with small branches and leaves and put dust on it so that it was impossible to him where the pit was. Anansi went away and hid. When Osebo came prowling in the black night, he stepped into the trap Anansi had prepared and fell into the bottom. Anansi heard the sound of the leopard falling, and he said, "Oh, Osebo, you are half foolish." So what he did now, his 3rd task. Now again he planned. As per his plan, he went to the forest, and where he dug a deep hole, a pit, where he used to walk, where Osebo the leopard used to walk always. It is his way. There he dug a pit, and after digging the pit, what he did, he covered it with small branches of leaves and put dust on it, so that the leopard, Osebo, the leopard, shouldn't make out there is a pit there. So that it was impossible to tell where the pit was. So in the night, black night, the Osebo, the leopard, came prowling in the night. So he stepped into the trap Anansi had prepared and fell into to the bottom. So he got trapped into the pit. He fell into the pit, to the bottom of the pit. Anansi heard the sound of the leopard falling. So he could hear when a heavy thing falls down, it is common. It is usually that you get a big sound. So he also heard a sound. He said then, "Oh Osebo, you are half foolish. Now you are half foolish. Now remaining half he has to show." When morning came, Anansi went to the pit and saw the leopard there. So why didn't he went at that time only? So that the leopard shouldn't make out that who is responsible for this accident, who is responsible for his this incident. So that is why what Anansi did, he did not went to that spot at that moment only. He waited till the morning, and in the morning he went to the hole. "Osebo," he asked, "what are you doing in this hole now?" "Osebo," he asked the leopard. "Osebo, what are you doing in this hole?" So he asked the leopard, "What are you doing in this hole?" "I have fallen into a trap," Osebo said. "Help me." So Osebo said to Anansi the spider, he said, "I have fallen into the trap. Please help me." "I would gladly help you," Anansi said. "Okay, I am ready to help you. It would be very glad thing for me to help you. But I am sure that if I bring you out, I will have no thanks for it. You will get hungry, and later on you will wanting to eat me and my children." So what he said, "Okay, I am ready to help you. I am glad to help you. But what will be the result if I help you? The result will be, after you come out, you will feel hungry and you will eat me up, and you will also eat me and my children." So he make him swear. "I swear it won't happen." Osebo, so the leopard said, "I swear, I promise it won't happen." "Very well, since you swear it, I will take you out," Anansi said. So what Anansi said, "Okay, you swear now, you promise now that you won't eat me and my children, I will take you out." He bent a tall tree towards the ground, so that its top was over the pit, and he that way. Then he tied a rope to the tree and dropped the other end of it into the pit. So he bent a tall tree, then on to the top of the tree, top of the pit. He bent it to the top of the pit. Then he tied it in that way, that it tied a rope to the tree and dropped the other end of it into the pit. So the tree is bent now to the top of the pit, and now he has tied a rope. This rope he sent it down to the pit, and he to the top and the trunk of the tree, he also tied another rope, so that it is kept bent. Now what he did, "You are not tie this you to a tail," he said. He sent that one rope to the pit. Osebo tied the rope to his tail. Then he said, "You tie this rope to your tail." Osebo tied the rope to his tail. "Is it well tied?" Anansi asked. So he did what he did. He first tied, he bent a tree, then tied a rope to the top of the tree, and he let it down to the pit. Then another rope he tied to the top of the tree, and then tied it to the trunk and the tree top. So two ropes are there. One is into the pit, another is to the top of the tree and to the trunk of the tree. Now he asked Osebo to tie the rope which is into the pit to his tail. Is it well tied? Anansi asked. Yes, it is well tied, the leopard said. In that case, Anansi said, you are not merely half foolish, you are all foolish. Then he said, you are not only half foolish, you are all foolish. And he took his knife and cut the other rope. So which rope he had tied to the trunk and to the top of the tree, he just cut it so that he can sprang high. Okay. The tree straightened. So when he had tied, as he bent the tree and tied it to the trunk of the tree, and when the rope was cut, the tree becomes straight, and when it becomes straight, the other rope is tied to the tail. So he just went up. Who went up? The leopard straight went up. The tree straightened up with a snap, pulling Osebo out of the hole. He hung in the air. So the tree is straight now and he is hanging in the air because he has tied the rope to his tail. So he is hanging in the air. He hung in the air head downwards. So downwards. Twisting and turning. So while it was when it was straightened, it snapped out. Osebo was pulled out in sudden moment. So it was hanging head downwards and twisting and turning. And while he hung this way, Anansi killed him with his weapon. So when he was hanging this way, head downwards and twisting and turning, what Anansi did? The spider killed the leopard with his weapon. Then he took the body of the leopard and carried it to Nyam, the sky god, saying, here is the third thing. Now I have paid the price. So he took the body to the sky god, the Nyam, the sky god, and he said, so now I have paid all the price. Full price is over. Nyam said to him, Kwaku Anansi, great warriors and chiefs have tried, but they have been unable to do it. You have done it. Therefore, I will give you the stories. From this day onwards, all stories belong to you. Whenever a man tells a story, he must acknowledge that it is Anansi's tale. So, in the 37th para, what happens? Nyam said to the sky god says to Kwaku Anansi that Kwaku Anansi, great warriors and chiefs have tried whatever task I had given for the ownership of these stories. Many chiefs and great warriors have tried this, but they have failed. They could not do it. They are unable to do the task. You have done it. Therefore, I will give you the stories from this day onwards. All stories belong to you. So, whatever stories are there on the earth, they are belong to you. Whenever a man tells a story to other person, he must acknowledge that it is from Anansi's tale. So, whenever a man tells a story to anyone, to his children or anyone, he has to acknowledge that this story has come from Anansi's tale. So, para number 38. In this way, Anansi the spider became the owner of all the stories that are told. So, from that day onwards, all the stories are of Anansi's, and whoever tells the story, they have to acknowledge that these stories are from Anansi's tale. So, to Anansi, all these tales belong. So, this is the story where we can come to know that proper planning, willpower and wit can make you win anything impossible. So, the same way, the spider Anansi, though the size of the spider is small, due to his confidence, willpower, and also the wit, proper planning. Proper planning is first here. Proper planning, you have to plan before doing any task. You just have to plan, and you should also think the pros and the cons. Pros and the cons means plus and plus points and the minus points. Now, whenever you plan, you should just see if this is your aim. To reach this aim, which path you have to take, what you have to do, what if we did this, what will happen, and if we did not do this, what will not happen. So all this you have to plan, and accordingly you have to move. Then only your work will be successful. If without any planning you jump to anything, you jump to any conclusion, you jump to any work, it won't it fruitilize. So you have to plan previously for any action, and you should have confidence that you can do it, and with power. So this is all about the story of all stories are of Anansis. So next, till my next video, just go through the lesson, read it 5 times, and watch this video 3 times at least. So till then, thank you. Namaste.